Hi, hello, wonderful people. Just checking here. Yes, so how have you been doing? Today in this video, let's understand this one thing that is, it is not what the child did, but what your reaction is actually depends on how you feel at that, how you are feeling at that moment. So why did you yell at your child? Or why did you raise your voice at your child? Or why did you scold your child? Or why did you use one of these labels, blames, shames, threats, bribes, complaining, comparison, criticism, whatever you've done to your child? I'm not saying you're doing all of these things, but just look into your own, the way you're speaking to your child, your own, the way you're thinking with your about your child, the way you're, what are you doing to your child, and you will have your own clarity. But now, why do you do this? You might be feeling that because my child is not listening to me, because my child had to brush the teeth at this point of time, but he or she is not brushing his or her teeth, and that is the reason I'm yelling. Yes. So, whatever is happening on the outside, that could be your external trigger. But what if I tell you that apart from this external trigger, there was also your own internal trigger inside of you which made you react that way? You do have an internal trigger inside of you which is making you have that unpleasant reaction, which is pushing you towards yelling, shouting, labeling, blaming, bribing, threatening, comparing, criticizing, and complaining the child just to get things by the child. So, what is that internal trigger all about? Let's understand this. Let me share with you a story. Yes. So just imagine you've had a very close friend in your school or college days, okay? And then it's been 10 years and you just lost contact with that friend. You've been trying to reach out through Facebook, through Instagram, through WhatsApp, through common friends, through various sources, but you just couldn't get to that. You just couldn't get in touch with that person, and it was always at the back of your mind that what is she or he, what is he or she, you've been wondering what is that person doing. I just want to talk to that person, it's just not happening, etc., etc., etc. And one fine day at 6 p.m., you get a call over your phone. And who is it on the phone? It is that long lost friend that you have been trying to reach out to, and what it was it, and you weren't, right? So that friend called you and you were so excited, you were so energetic, you were like jumping with joy, you were like recalling all the memories that you had with that person in your college days, in your school days, and wow, that was amazing. The 20 minutes of conversation that you had with that friend was just amazing. It just shifted you from that moment to an entirely different high energy vibration where you were just excited. You were happy that she got back to you. You were happy that you could talk to her, and many things that and a whole bunch of things that are making you excited, that are making you happy. Now, all through this 20 minutes of the conversation, you just look at, from the corner of your eye, you are looking at your child, just to ensure that the child is safe. And maybe the child has just picked up some paint and the child is kind of painting here and there on the paper. And in this process of painting, the child is also smearing some kind of paint on the arms, on the legs, on the ground, most importantly, on the ground, on the floor, and yes, on the paper. From the floor, it's coming onto the from the paper, it's coming onto the floor. And you were like watching the child. Okay, the child is safe from the corner of the eye, but you were rooted in excitement because of that phone call that you are having, because of the conversation you are having over the phone call. So it was just amazing. It was an amazing feeling that you had when you got in touch with your long lost friend. And 20 minutes you've spoken to her, and you've hung up the phone. You walk to your child. Maybe you are even sharing your excitement with your child. You know what? My college friend spoke to me. My college friend reached me out, and I was able to speak to her. I was trying to speak to her since last 10 years and just didn't happen. But today, out of nowhere, I got that call. I'm so happy. And then maybe you are also sharing what all happened, some memories, some experiences that you've been through in your college days. Everything was fine. Then you look at that paint, and then you look at that smearing, that mess around, and maybe you are still excited, right? So you just pick up a white cloth and you are kind of wiping it out, and your child also maybe is helping pick up another white cloth, or maybe the child is putting across all the paints another side so that you are wiping another side, wherever the mess is created. and it was going well. It was going well. So the outcome that you created there, yes, the outcome or the reaction that you had was not an unpleasant reaction, and the outcome that you created, you're not feeling bad about that outcome. Now just imagine it is another day. Okay, now we are in another day, same time, 6 p.m. Same child, same pains, same mess, same scenario, same experience. But you, instead of you were the earlier, I mean, the older experience, you have just come out of a phone call with your long lost friend, very close friend, very best friend. But now you are coming out of a very, very heated conversation that you had on a phone, maybe with your office team, maybe with your regarding your work, or maybe with your family member, some kind of heated argument that's going on, or you just came out from the kitchen after standing in the kitchen for 1 hour straight. So some guests were coming home and you were cooking for 10 people out there, and you were just tired out there. You walk out of your office room, you walk out of your kitchen, and you look at that child who's smearing paint all over the arms, all over the legs, all over the floor, and then you are like, oh my god, is this the time for you to pick this up? I remember I put this paint somewhere at the top of the shelf. Why did you have to climb up the chair, get down the paint, and do this? I just don't have time for this now. I am just not in a mood to clean up now. I'm already so tired. I just can't do anything. Why did you have to take this now? Why did you have to do this now? Etc. 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 Did you ever encounter such experience? So the external trigger was the same in both the cases, child creating mess. But the way you responded, the way you, what your response was it an unpleasant reaction or was it a loving response? Depended upon how you were feeling inside of you. So, in the second scenario, you were frustrated. You were feeling low because of that heated argument that was going on, maybe with the workplace or maybe with your family member. You were low. Please accept, I mean, please acknowledge your feelings that yes, I am low. Yes, I have been frustrated. Yes, it was very irritating for me. That phone call was very irritating for me. And whatever it is that you're going through, just acknowledge that fact that yes, you are going with low emotions. So depending on what your emotion was, so maybe you were helpless in the kitchen, maybe you were anxious, maybe you were again all these various emotions that pass through when you are going across a heated argument or a heated conversation with people around. Yes, so you were emotionally low. Now with that internal, that was your internal trigger for you to have an unpleasant reaction. So it is not about the child, it is not about the situation, it is not even about you, your parent, it is not even about you. It was just about that emotion that's lying inside of you. And for you on your side, it is just about you becoming aware of that emotion that is running inside of you. So if you know that yes, I had a heated phone call, I had a heated argument, yes, I am frustrated, but now I'm looking at my child and I don't want to react based on my frustration. If you are aware of that little emotion of frustration that's inside of you, that little internal trigger, that's all. Just awareness is enough for you to not react based on that pain. Yes, maybe you've been blamed on the phone call with whoever you had. So immediately the next statement would be a statement of blame against your child, for your child, right? So that is because, again, that is because you might not be aware of this blame that got into yourself, and that was your internal trigger. When if you are aware, just listen to this statement. If you know that you are angry, you wouldn't pass down that anger to your child. So if you know that you are already frustrated because of the phone call, and then you look at your child from another lens, from an unbiased lens, then consciously you wouldn't want to react based on this frustration. When you know that you are irritated, when you know that you are helpless, you've been helpless in the kitchen, nobody helped me, I just stood for 1.5 hours and I cooked for 10 people, and then I come out and look at my child. But I know I was helpless. I do not want to react based on the helpless emotion that I am carrying. Get my point? So, what is the emotion that you are carrying inside? That awareness is the key. You need not react, you need not have a loving response immediately. No, it doesn't happen. Yes, controlling your conscious senses to just force yourself to stay calm doesn't work. Look deep inside. Look deep inside, become aware of what is it that you are feeling, become aware of your emotions. And that way, yes, That way, you are not giving power to that low emotion. You are not giving power to that internal trigger, and you will not have an unpleasant reaction outside. And then you will also not blame your reaction to that external trigger. External triggers are present everywhere, all around the world. Somebody is doing something on this planet Earth which might not be okay according to you. It doesn't mean that everybody around us will do whatever you approve of. Yes, each person does whatever he wants to do, he or she wants to do, and it need not, and doesn't matter whether you approve of that or not. External triggers are always present around you. What is important for you to realize is what is that internal trigger. Yes, it's a journey. It's a journey in the making, a journey which takes you towards the next step, progresses you towards the next step, grows you internally. Yes, and I also have this course of magic morning rituals, which will really help you, which will stir you up from inside, and that the internal growth that is happening inside, that is what creates the external growth on the outside. And obviously, however you are reacting, however you are with your child, that is what your child is learning to live his or her life. So if you believe this will help you, what will help you? Just the awareness on what your internal trigger was, just the awareness on your emotion was. If you agree that this will definitely help you to not react based on the blame, to not react based on the distraction, to not react based on the irritation, just type out in the chat box, yes, I agree. And whatever was your takeaway, put that out in the chat box, put that out in the comment section, and I'll reply to each of them. So make sure you also like and subscribe and do all those things to my channel so that you will continue to get notifications whenever there is a new content out there. So cheers, take care, have a great day, happy parenting, bye bye.